Welcome to the second episode of COMPCLIMB. I think I'm going to try doing my recap of each session as a picture-in-picture and see how that goes. I had a couple pink tapes left in the gym that I hadn't yet sent, and so that was going to be my goal for the session, was to finish off these two. This first one here, this green one, was really cool. These holds are super cool. I haven't had much experience climbing on them, and this boulder kind of centered around this second hold. This slipper was really bad, and it was taking me a long time to figure out how to grab it. This move over to the pinch I was really struggling with. Maddie had tried it the day before and she told me she stuck it, so I was extra motivated to catch up to her. And I tried this last move a couple times as well, and this last sloper is so bad. I could barely even hold it. I'm sure the last move goes, but I didn't have the gas during the session. This is the last try I put on this boulder. Probably worked it for about half hour, 45 minutes. Finally figured out that I really had to sit on this little foothold and just take as much weight off my hands as I could, because the hold was just so bad. And then once I sat on the foot enough, I could lock off to the pinch. And this was kind of like a classic, I don't think I'm going to stick the last move of this climb, but I'm going to give it my best shot, and I'm going to count that as a send. And then this pink tape here was the last boulder in the gym I hadn't sent yet. I had about 30 minutes left in my session to work this, which I thought was a pretty good amount of time. That looked pretty hard. And these holds are pretty bad. This left foothold that I'm standing on is one of those cheetah spikes with the dual text at the back, and just the textures at the tip of the foot. And because the handles are so bad, it's really hard to keep attention with this move. This shoulder move in the middle here was pretty cool. I had seen Maddie do this move as well the day before while I was resting. I went with her to the gym, and she got her right foot up before she went to this shoulder move instead of doing the jump like I did, which is pretty smart, but I didn't think of that. And that makes two pink hold green tapes that I dropped the finish of in this session. And then I went back to the hotel and rested for a bit, and came back to the gym for my endurance session. When I got to the gym, I knew it was in the evening, so it was probably going to be busy, but I had never seen a climbing gym so packed before. It was so crowded, and I thought I was screwed. I didn't know how I was gonna even get on the wall to warm up, let alone do endurance. So I realized, hey, I can probably just do my endurance on the backfill actually. There was still a good crowd of like 5 or 6 people though, so I still kind of had to butt in a little bit, which I didn't feel too great about, but it was gonna be impossible to do it on the main boulders. And so I started the session at like 6:30, so it was already kind of late-ish, and I wanted to get home. I didn't want to get home too late, so I was in a bit of a rush, and I didn't have much time to make up boulders beforehand like I usually like to. So you can see I'm doing one of the boulders that I was campsing on in the last session, and I just said I'll just do my campus boulder and use any feet. And I didn't try before I did my endurance. So it actually was, I had to take like my time to find my feet, which was added to the pump factor a little bit as well. And here you can see I failed my third rep. The second failed rep of my endurance so far. I failed a couple reps last endurance session. So I rested for a little bit extra than I usually do. I wanted to see if I could send it again. And I barely stick this hold. I probably hung on a little longer than I should have. My right shoulder collapsed a bit, and that was pretty painful. but I was happy to get that last rep. And so I did 3 sets on that boulder, and I just quickly made up some boulder with some open-handed holes. My fingers were getting tired because that last boulder had, like, you know, some fingery holds, and that definitely zapped me. So I made a boulder with some pretty positive pinches, and the pump again was just like really in the biceps and the forearms. It's pretty nice on the hands. Actually, this is my last set that I did of the session. The first set I did on this boulder, I didn't forehand it beforehand, so I was like taking so long in my attempts to figure it out, but I like barely managed to get all 4 reps. And here you can see I'm kind of flying through it, but I was so pumped, especially like I don't usually do my endurance on backfill for a reason. Like, I mean, usually backfills will be steep, and this one's 55 degrees. So this was just brutal. Like, every attempt was on steep overhang, feet are cutting. So I ended up only doing, like, there's no way I could do my 6th set. I cut it 1 set short, and I only did 5 sets. So I did 3 on that first boulder, and then I did 2 on this one. And this is my last rep of the session. I didn't know it was yet, and I was thinking maybe I would do a 6th set, but after I got off this attempt, I knew there was no way. Yeah, man, like the endurance is like, especially because I don't do any cardio, like, oh yeah, I feel it, like my chest just feels like it's gonna explode. Especially like there's kind of a heat wave going through Victoria right now, and it's really adding to it. So next day, so the BoulderHouse Victoria, like, I normally would start with my campus session on this day. I usually like to do my hangboard last, because if I do anything afterwards, my fingers will be pretty tired. But the BoulderHouse Victoria location that has the backfill didn't open until 4 p.m. And so I just went to the other location, which opened earlier, to do my workout. I started off with my hangs, and as you can see, I am failing. It had been a while since I've done double sessions, and I was really starting to feel it, especially with the super intense endurance in the evening yesterday. I didn't, like, I'm trying to get used to just the heavy volume again, and you can see, like, it's so much worse than the first session when I was just a bit fresher. I have to spot my hangs with I kind of use like 2 fingers and on this pinch here, and I try to weight it as little as possible and load my crimping hand as much as I can. But yeah, even with the spot, I could barely get through these hangs. And next we did pinch block. Yeah, so last session I was doing 65 pounds, and when I was warming up, like sussing out the weight for the day, I was feeling super weak on my pinch as well. So I brought it down to 62.5, which was still a struggle. But like, I'm not too worried. I know this is just me getting used to the heavy volume again. And I'll get used to the training load and hopefully adjust. 1 arms, 4 reps again. Also, not feeling as good as last session. I wasn't failing any reps, but I couldn't do them all consecutively. I had to alternate. But other than that, the reps were pretty solid. I think when we go down to 3 reps for the next workout, I'll start to add weight. I think I'll probably try to jump up to 5 pounds for 3 reps. So I was enjoying my last session of weightless 1 arms. jump squats didn't feel too bad today. Actually, I think because like I hadn't done, it had been a couple weeks since I had done them. I'm remembering, I'm getting my muscle memory back and I'm feeling more comfortable with them, and I think they're starting to look a little bit more explosive. I think this is a better angle too, like front on, you can really tell that I'm trying to jump as hard as I can. But yeah, with this exercise as well, like the first rep is always the best, of course, but they really go downhill, like with the explosive nature of the exercise. And actually, the one exercise that didn't feel too bad this workout were dips. My dips actually felt pretty solid. I went up 5 pounds. I think, yeah, last session I was doing 65, and yeah, I felt pretty solid. I think I do 3 consecutively here, and then just need to rest a little bit for the last rep. I haven't actually tried to PB with my dips in a while, so I'm not sure what it is. I think, I don't think I've done a 90-pound dip yet. I think I've just done 85, so we're steadily approaching where my dip is peaked. And pistol squats today, I went up 5 pounds since last session. I think I could probably go heavier. I'm just trying to ease into it a little bit. But yeah, 10 pounds for 3 reps today. And I like to do my pistol squats on a bench or any elevated surface. And it's because when I started doing pistol squats a few weeks ago, the mobility required to keep my other leg off the ground was kind of actually starting to bother my lower back. So I started doing it on an elevated surface. Military press, same weight as last workout, 80 pounds. Felt about the same as last time, I'd say. Bit of struggle, but I think I could do 3 reps pretty comfortably at 80. Sorry, 4 reps. So I'm using 240-pound dumbbells, obviously, and they don't have 45-pound dumbbells at either gym, so I don't know what I'm going to do actually when I want to go up a little bit. I'll have to find out. And splits for the day, pretty good. What I do is I usually film my last set. My first 2 sets definitely look worse than my last one does, I just need to get kind of warm. So yeah, I always just film my last set so I can get a full split. So one arm hangs, we did no weight today. Pinches 62.5 pounds. Unfortunately, we had to go down since last session. One arms, no weight. Jump squats, same as last time. I think one arms will go up in weight when we go down to 3 reps, and one arm hangs, I'll go up in weight probably when I'm doing 2 to 5 second hangs. I'll just keep it weightless until then. Dips, 70 pounds, went up 5 pounds since last session, pretty good. Same with pistol squats, up 5 pounds, felt pretty comfortable. Military press the same. Super hard workout, and hopefully I adjust to the new training volume soon. Later in the day, I went to the other BoulderHouse, now that they were open, to do my camper session, which I was dreading a little bit. Especially like after the super hard workout, I wasn't feeling super strong. I thought campus was just going to be even worse. But sometimes the body plays tricks on you, and I actually felt really strong during this campus session. I started off with the boulder that I spent most of my time on in the first session, the one that I did my power endurance on, and immediately, like, every attempt was just getting better and better. I stuck the first crux on one of my first few tries. And then it was like about 4 or 5 attempts in, I stick the bump move from the bottom, which I hadn't done yet. And I usually will try to follow the rule of no matching while I'm canvassing, but I was about to fall and I was like gassing out, so I just said, screw it, I'll match this pinch to see if I can do it anyway. Still couldn't do the next move. So I moved on. And I was feeling super good, so I decided to try the super crimpy campus climb that I made for myself the last session that I never got around to. So I'm super motivated to try and take my crimping strength to the next level. So I decided I'm gonna try and spend as much time as I can on this boulder in the next few campus sessions, really put my crimping power to the test. And this first move here is just, these first couple moves are just so intense on the fingers. This right hand it's a Technic cricket, so it's pretty small. These first couple moves are just testing my crimping power to the max, but then the ending, I decided I'd be a little bit nice to myself and take some pressure off the fingers. The ending of this climb is actually really cool. I'm pretty proud of myself for coming up with this one. So I sussed out all the moves, got my beta, got psyched to give it a big send attempt. And I stick the first move really hard. I thought I had the second hold, but not quite. And this is something I'll do, is like if I get super psyched to give a send go and I'm ready to send it, and I fall on one of the first few moves, I'll try and climb up to where I fell and act as though it was almost a send go. And I stick the second crux. Pretty cool move. So I think I had about like 10 minutes left in the session here. I was pretty tired, but I decided to kind of forerun one of my other campus boulders I made. Some open-handed holds, pretty comfy. Cool little 1-2 pinch move here. Very Zach style move. Yeah, thankfully I didn't have to call this campus session early. I got my full 45 minutes in. And that brings us to the end of these next 2 days of training. Bear with me as I get used to the video making process and find my groove. Hopefully the quality will continue to improve over the next few weeks. So keep tuning in.